Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Bruce. But actually, Bruce McGowan's not here today, but Vern Glenn, my other co-host, is here today.
Well, what do you see as a replacement?
Oh yeah, big stuff.
I love Bruce, but this guy's better looking.
And stubbier. No offense, Bruce.
And in better shape.
In better shape. Well, there's a reason for that, because our special guest is Scott Salzgiver, who is a personal trainer, and he's going to talk to us about spending a lot of money, or just athletes who spend a lot of money on their bodies, because there was an article here that we saw that there's an NFL player, James Harrison.
Linebacker.
Yep. Exactly. And this guy spends, up to $500,000 a year on his body. And that, we ain't talking about just eating lobster, okay, because we're talking about taking care of his body. And Scott, you've seen the article here. Take it away.
Yeah, I had a great chance to read over the article, and James Harrison, he's a perfect example for a topic like this. I mean, we're taking a guy that's been a long career now in the NFL, 36 years old, weighs 242 pounds, and he's playing like, he started a few years ago. Where's the longevity coming from? Well, it's coming from after the season, what these players are doing to stay in the game, staying involved. And we're talking, $500,000, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more to stay involved.
Yeah, we're not talking steroids at all. This is just strictly, the stretching, the massages,
We're talking about new science. We're talking about, and James Harrison said it the best, my body helps me make money. If he doesn't have a body for this, he's not going to
No income.
Yeah,
no career,
exactly.
etc.
And let's mention he's playing a position where it's equivalent to, 50 head-on collisions a game? Yeah.
Yeah, being
So,
a linebacker, sure.
Yeah, so guys like James Harrison, they're investing in things like hyperbaric chambers, and these are pressure chambers. And most people are going to think of these chambers in dive situations, situations where guys are coming up from scuba diving who have the bends, who need to get their oxygen levels right. Well, guys like James Harrison are investing in these things, and these are not cheap. We're talking upwards of $18,000 for at-home chamber.
Okay.
And these things, they come hard body, they come soft shells. What it does is it allows the body to reach a higher level of oxygen into the muscles. It mobilizes stem cells. The recovery of damaged organs, tissues, all these things are what these guys are reaping the benefits of in these chambers.
Okay, and he said it's not really excessive, because he earned over $23 million for the 4 previous seasons. So yeah, if he spends a few hundred thousand dollars a year in chiropractors, acupuncture, massage therapy, it's worth it.
Well, he's reinvesting in himself, right, Scott? Yeah. May I call you S squared?
You may.
Yeah. And I've seen these things. It kind of looks like a gigantic, oversized test tube that you kind of like slide yourself into and you close it up?
You simply climb in, and like I said, there's a couple different ones. Most of the NFL players, they have the soft shell ones. They're going to sit in. It's like a giant sleeping bag. Then they're going to zip it in over them. They got a gauge at the bottom. It's going to change the pressure, and then they're going to sit in there for anywhere from maybe an hour, 2.5 hours to 5 hours.
Because their head sticks out, right?
No, their head.
You're completely enclosed.
You know what? I got too much claustrophobia. I'm done.
It's an entire.
But it's glass. You can see through.
Oh, that helps. Okay, that helps.
Yeah. Right, and they have to build up a tolerance to sit in it for a while. But we're talking like you do a simple Google search on these chambers, and you're going to find all the big names in the NFL now. They all have one.
Honestly, 18,000 really doesn't sound like that much. I know a personal sauna can run 5,000 plus, and so if this is that specialized, that's really not that much money.
It's not. It's a good investment. These guys are on the road, so yes, they are renting them when they're on the road too, because they're going to climb into them after games, post games, sometimes even pre games if they feel the need to. So that's where some of the prices are going to pay in when they rent things like this. But it's funny doing a little research, and I have to thank some of my colleagues even that these chambers have been around. Bill Romanowski was one of the first.
I was just about to mention Bill Romanowski because I was covering the Raiders when he was finishing up his career with them. And this is before I even knew that these guys did this outside of the game. Romanowski finishes playing a game, and usually after the game, we go in our locker rooms with our little microphones and get our post-game interviews, and then we turn around and leave. Well, we're finishing up with Romo, and he's not even dressed yet. We're like, man, what's he going to do? He's just going to hang out. Anyway, in comes this masseuse with the table, folds it out over in the trainer's room, and I go, well, Romo, what's going on? Oh, it's my trainer. She works over, my body after every game because I get it ready for the next week. And I go, wow, what's something like that cost? And then he told us that he spends a couple $100,000 a year just on getting his body back.
And some of these people, they like in this case, James, he has people fly in from New York and Arizona. I mean, I guess you pick somebody who's really good, you stay with them.
Well, things like that become a comfort level too. I mean, even in personal training, people tend to stick with their personal trainers. You build a bond with them. Those people, they're your trainers. They're looking after your body. They see things in your body that new trainers that are new to you aren't going to see, for example, when you're on the road. So that's why they're flying them in, is these guys understand them. They've been with them for the years. They know their injuries. They know what works for them the best.
Well, that's a good point. If they know him well enough, then they know exactly the specifics with the injuries. Yeah, I don't know when he has time, because it says here, getting stretched maybe an hour or so, ice tub, hot tub, cold tub, maybe another extra 30 or 40 minutes, then massage maybe another 2 to 4 hours per day.
Well, 8-hour day. If you break it down, you got a couple hours of practice on the field. Okay. You got meetings. That could be another hour, hour and a half. So you got, what's the problem?
Yeah,
spend the rest of your day, treating your body, and then go home.
That sounds good to me. Where do I sign up?
Right.
I just gained another 100 pounds,
and Scott, as close knit as these NFLers are, word of mouth just kind of permeates. Where maybe somebody on another team that maybe played with them in college, hey man, that worked for you. Hey, I'm going to try it. And then just kind of spread. Even a couple of blocks away from the posh studios where this radio show emanates from, Frank Gore gets worked over by a couple of people, therapists that are just like 2 blocks over. In fact, they go to his house 3 times a week down in Santa Clara and work him over.
Well, you wonder how many injuries they don't get because they have this stuff going on with them, right?
Well, that's a great point, but also on some of these other things that I got to look into, for example, low-level laser therapy. And this is something that you're looking at possibly $3,000 to have treatment at home. And again, I'm talking mostly at the home stuff because we're talking at the professional athletic level. These guys, let's face it, they're going to pay for everything to be convenient. And what this does is this uses a wide range of different wavelengths. And you can have what's considered a cold laser all the way to a warm feeling of a laser working in on the tissues. And it's going to give you some heat. And what that does is it's pushing away inflammation and swelling. Now, the research I looked into this on, this kind of treatment, this low-level laser therapy, it can take a 3 to 4 week injury that a player got, let's say Monday Night Football, have him playing Sunday again.
Wow,
that's amazing,
man. That's like an ultra kind of ultrasound type treatment.
Or you're talking about Adrian Peterson before we went on air. You're talking about Adrian Peterson.
I think that's the freakiest thing of all. Yeah. Adrian tore up his knee. You figure, okay, that's a year.
Yeah.
Has surgery to repair it. Comes back way ahead of schedule.
Sure.
He's not just productive, he almost sets the single season rushing record.
Yeah.
And becomes the MVP of the league.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe that even happened. And he wasn't like Franco Harris running out of bounds. He was running through people.
Yeah. Well, I wonder, gosh, you see some of these old poor linemen with their knees just getting destroyed. I wonder, if they had known about this for years.
Oh, sure.
They're not walkers anymore.
Sign of the times.
Well, and that's the beautiful thing. I mean, technology these days, it's skyrocketing. So you talk about a level playing field. Well, the level playing field is your access to your technology these days. And that's what's keeping it at a level playing field is these players are seeking the ultimate therapies, the chambers, masseuse, chiropractors. I mean, the chiropractors for the teams, they're doing upwards of 30 to 50 sessions in 1 week on these players.
See, the day will come, Edward, I'm dating myself. It'll be like those old episodes of Star Trek when, Bones, he breaks out his little device and
that's right.
Kind of waves it over the energy and goes, okay, you're cleared.
Okay. All right, we are going to cut to our first commercial break, and here is the first trivia question. And again, the theme is sports injuries, which is kind of interesting.
Okay.
We have Scott in the studio here with us.
S squared.
S squared, yes. Okay. This is an easy one. Who effectively ended Joe Theismann's career on Monday Night Football? The first 3 callers with the correct answer win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Their website is lighthouseforfun.com. Call 888-660-4495 to answer this question. Who effectively ended Joe Theismann's career on Monday Night Football? 888-660-4495. Make sure to include your name, email address, speak slowly, spell out your email 1 letter at a time. Don't touch that dial because Sports Econ 101 will be right back. Excellent.
God, I'll never forget that.
Oh,
wow.
Remember that?